Emily Spencer with the RacinBoys, and I caught up with Scott Dixon, the 2018 IndyCar champion. Scott, great season last year. How do you pick up where you left off?
The number one goal is to try and repeat and go back to back. But to be honest, I've never done that before, so it's something we need to work on. But capturing our fifth championship was huge. It was huge for PNC Bank coming on, first full time year for them. We had lots of holes, I think, last year in our program. So we had a lot of issues on road course qualifying and even some of the super speedway stuff. So I think we've got a lot of room for improvement, and hopefully that can carry through. But also welcoming Felix Rosenquist to the team and the NTT car and the number 10, and he's been fast right out of the box, so hopefully that will lift the whole team as well.
You'll be running on a new tire this year, Firestone. I think you tested it at Indy last year when the season was over. What are your expectations for that tire in 2019?
Yeah, the tyres evolve quite a bit, and they change quite a bit through whatever tracks you're running on. But the Indy tyre, I think, was definitely one that everybody wanted to try and fix a little bit. Obviously its durability and reliability has always been good, but just the race that we had this in 2018 was not typical of the 500s that we've had. Just as soon as you got behind a car, the front would wash out, and you really couldn't complete a pass. So actually, at the test, there was a number of aerodynamic changes they went through, but also the tyre change, and the tyre was the biggest difference. Firestone brought a fantastic tyre, so hopefully I think it should complement the race here in 2019.
So how many Daytona 500s have you been to, and what was it about this one that drew you to the event?
This is my first. I think I've only been to 2 or 3 Cup races. I did Bristol in 2006. I went to Vegas, but only for the test days. We had a sponsor requirement a few years ago, and then this one. So here to see Jamie McMurray. He's been a great teammate, great friend over the years, and just really wanted to see him possibly for his last race here, at least as kind of full-time ride, coming over from last year. So it's always cool to be here. I think being part of the racing community, no matter what, we have a lot of close ties, and Jimmy Johnson's a good friend, and obviously my Ganassi teammates, so it's good to catch up and see a lot of familiar faces.
At the beginning last year, did you ever expect you to see Kurt Busch in a Ganassi car?
Being in motor racing for so long, nothing's out of the question, right? And I'd kind of heard rumblings of it probably the year previous. So, it's good to see that, he's a hell of a racer. He brought a strong sponsor with Monster to the team. And, I think he'll complement Jamie well in this race, but also, with Kyle for the rest of the season. I think they approach race weekends totally different. So I think his experience will really help. But so far he's been great to chat to, and seems like a really nice guy. And, hopefully he can do the obvious things, and that's win some races.
I wouldn't be surprised if he picks your brain about the Indy 500, because he's made no bones about it. He wants to get back there. Did a great job the first time. Kyle Larson has also expressed interest. Would you welcome a couple additional teammates in the future?
Chip always says don't talk about that stuff because he gets annoyed with it. But, I think, Kurt definitely wants to look at some different stuff and maybe not just ovals. I think, he's even talked a little bit about some road racing stuff. We were talking about the Race of Champions quite a bit when he came actually for the Daytona 24 hours. So, I'm excited to talk to him about many different forms. I'd like to pick his brain about, the Race of Champions, for instance. He's done well in that previously. But, I think there might be a couple of Cup drivers that may be looking at some Indy road courses coming up.
I've never, I don't cover IndyCar full-time, clearly, but one of the rumors I've heard is perhaps going back to Surfers Paradise, and I'm wondering, having just spent time in Australia and New Zealand, and with that being your neck of the woods, is that something that you might like to see in the future?
Absolutely. I think it's a great race. It's really well attended. Financially, it would be very strong for the series as well. I think they need to get back to some of those international tracks that we've been at. I'm hoping, probably a lot more biased than some of the other drivers because I'm from New Zealand and did a lot of racing in my junior categories in Australia too. So, hopefully Surfers is a possibility, but, we'd love to get back to Europe and obviously Japan and some of those Asian countries too.
Really appreciate your time and enjoy the race.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.